So this happened. That's right, I cancelled my Model 3 reservation and I've reserved a Honda E instead. Or E-Honda, as I keep wanting to say. That's a very obscure Street Fighter reference. So yes, so I've cancelled my Model 3 order and I've now reserved a Honda E. Well, I mentioned this on Twitter and I got a comment from someone, as you do on Twitter or YouTube. You get comments from people with strong opinions. This is a chap in America who said, I just don't understand. Are these things free? Does Honda pay you to take one? I mean, against a 3, the specs are nowhere close. Range, speed, looks, cargo space, recharge time. After driving an EV with 280-mile range for a year, I can't imagine one with less than that. And I would agree, actually, mainly that if you get the Model 3 in one hand and you've got the Honda E in the other, and you look at the specs, you'd think, why the hell would you go for the Honda E? If you're driving around in America on those enormous streets and everything, then of course it's a no-brainer to get a Model 3. If you live in England and you live in a city, then things are a little bit different. And that's the thing. We've got to, when you're considering a car or anything really, you've got to take someone else's situation into consideration. A Tesla is not perfect for everyone. God knows they're not perfect for everyone. They cost a fortune for a start, but they're not perfect for everyone. They are big. Someone else complained, I think, on a YouTube comment, to say, oh, you Brits, you were complaining that the Model S and X were too big, and now the Model 3's come out and it's still too big. Well, it is still a bit big, yeah. But let's compare the Honda E and the Model 3 for a sec. So, firstly, well, the Honda E is obviously cheaper, but you're getting far less range. It's going to be about 150 miles probably. They're saying less than that, but people are generally thinking, well, it's going to be about 150 miles compared to twice that for the Model 3. Obviously, it's a much smaller car, so you can have smaller boot and everything else. But then you've got to look at the pros, okay? So firstly, the Honda E, it's got a great turning circle. So Robert Llewellyn, in the fully charged video, shows that it's extremely tight. It's 4.3 meters. That's less than a London taxi. 4.3 meters compared to 11.8 meters in the Model 3. So already, if you're trying to navigate around a city, that's so much better. Yes, it's got a small battery, but it will charge on 100 kilowatt charging stations, so that means it should charge pretty quickly, actually. And it should be up to 80% in, I reckon let's say about 25 minutes or something like that, but I'm not sure. I don't even think you can work it out with maths, can you, that, because different batteries have different levels at which they taper off. But anyway, it'll be fairly quick to recharge anyway. The design, I absolutely love the design. I mean, it's one of those things that you might love it or hate it, but I just think that's beautiful. In whatever colour you choose, the Honda E, I think it's beautiful. They generally show it in white, which looks like a panda, or that kind of yellow colour, which I think is very funky, but also the blue and the grey. I mean, they look really cool, I think. I just think it's a modern classic. So it's like an original Mini, original Fiat 500, VW Beetle, the VW Camper. All of these cars are classics, and I think already the Honda E just looks like it's a classic. It's got personality, and so many cars these days just don't have personality. Even the Kia that I'm driving around in, it's pretty boring, let's be honest. Even the Teslas, I mean, maybe I'll get downvoted for this, but the Teslas, I don't think, looking at them, they have much personality. And that's not to say that they're not beautiful, because they are beautiful. So I think it's quite cool to have a car that has a bit of fun about it. So it's a perfect city car. I think it'll eat Smart's lunch when it comes out, but we don't know the price or anything. Now, obviously, this is not going to be my main car, and that's the kind of this is the point. It would be a second car. That is even if my wife agrees to get it, because this is all dependent on that. So I've not told her yet that I've reserved it. So, but anyway, if it turns out that we win the lottery or something, then I will snap one up, because I always wanted a BMW i3 as a second car. I think they're beautiful. I love them. But this just wins for me. I mean, I just think it's beautiful. I'm just dying. I look at that and I'm just dying to get inside it and drive it. And I think it's great to have a car that's a bit of fun. So we used to have a Fiat 500. And we've just sold it, and not a single tear was shed, because it was a petrol car, and it stank the moment you turn on the engine. And I always felt it revved far too much. I don't know why, but it was the most economical petrol car that we could get. It was God knows what, 0.8 engine or something, 0.7. I can't remember. Anyway, it was very economical. But it was obviously a smelly petrol car. So now, if I go somewhere in the Nero, my wife doesn't have a car to drive, so I would still like a second car. Of course, the problem with this is that this is a £28,000 probably second car, which is ridiculous. A second-hand i3 would probably make more sense. But anyway, I've reserved this, and I just wanted to do this video just to say that, well, really, it's just to kind of to comment on that Tesla owner, because you can't just assume that one thing that's good for you is good for someone else. And if you're in America, you've got all that space, the biggest roads ever. Of course, you'd want a Tesla. I mean, why would you want anything else? But it's a different story when you're driving around these narrow English city roads. More than anything else, I just think it is a really funky little car, and so that's it. Whether I actually get one or not, I don't know, and we'll see. We'll see if I win the lottery or anything, but I'll have that reservation, and if circumstances allow, I'll snap one up, because I think it's the funkiest car I've seen in a long time. So anyway, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you think I'm crazy? It's probably going to be about half, isn't it? But anyway, just remember, it would be a second car in the city, and I think it's a perfect car for that. Okay, let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.